China is growing its military power fast, and one of the biggest changes is happening on the sea, not just in the air or space. In the past, people mainly talked about China's fighter jets, missiles, and space systems. But now, the spotlight is moving towards China's navy. This is not any simple growth, it's smart, quiet, and well-planned. So let's dive deeper into this powerful plan and see how it could change everything in modern warfare. One of the most important moves China is making is building nuclear-powered aircraft carriers like the Type 004. The Type 004 is not just a regular ship, it is a very large and advanced aircraft carrier that can carry many fighter jets. What makes it special is that it does not run on regular fuel like oil or gas. Instead, it runs on nuclear energy. This is a big step for China. Only a few countries in the world have nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. The United States has had this kind of technology for decades, but now China is entering that elite group. Nuclear power changes everything. Normal aircraft carriers need to stop and refuel after some time, but a nuclear-powered ship like the Type 004 can stay in the sea for years without needing to refuel. This means it can travel farther, stay at sea longer, and be ready to fight at any time. It gives China a big advantage in controlling the sea. The power from nuclear energy is very strong and steady. This is not just good for keeping the ship running, it also gives the ship enough energy to use very advanced weapons and systems. For example, there are weapons like electromagnetic railguns. These weapons shoot projectiles at very high speeds using electricity instead of gunpowder. They need a lot of energy to work, and before, ships couldn't support such weapons because they didn't have enough power. But with nuclear energy, that problem is solved. Another example is high-energy laser defense systems. These lasers can burn or damage enemy missiles and drones in the air, and they are very useful for protecting the ship and the planes on it. But again, they need a large and constant power supply. Nuclear energy can support that too, and this makes the ship much harder to attack. China can also use nuclear power to support directed energy weapons. These are high-tech systems that can stop enemy electronics, disable satellites, or confuse radar systems. They don't use bullets or explosives, they use focused energy. But just like the others, they require strong and constant energy which nuclear power can provide. It doesn't stop there, China is also planning to use this energy to power advanced radars and sensors. These will help China find and track targets from very far away. Long-range radar and quantum sensors need a lot of electricity to work properly. With nuclear power, these systems can run non-stop and with full strength. In short, nuclear power allows China to build a super ship that is not just a carrier for jets, but also a floating energy station that supports next-generation military systems. This is a huge change in military power. It is not just about one ship. China now has the ability to build many such ships. Since the Type 004 is already being built, China has learned how to make nuclear reactors for ships, how to design them, and how to build them. This means more nuclear-powered ships will come in the future. Most countries still use old-style fossil fuel-powered ships. These ships must return to port for fuel and can't stay out at sea for too long. But China's new nuclear ships can travel across the globe without stopping, and this means China can now have its navy present in many parts of the world at all times. It can send its ships to the Indian Ocean, the Pacific, or even near the coast of Africa or South America, and keep them there for months or even years. The new power changes how other countries see China. Before, China was mostly a regional power. It had influence in Asia, especially around the South China Sea. But now with nuclear-powered ships, China can become a global power. It can send its military wherever it wants, whenever it wants. This is not just about showing power, it is also about being ready to fight if needed. A ship that can stay at sea all the time is always ready. This puts pressure on China's rivals, especially the United States. The US Navy has had nuclear-powered aircraft carriers for a long time. These ships give the US the ability to be present in many parts of the world, and now China is catching up. Once China starts building more of these ships, the balance of power will change. The US will no longer be the only country that can control the seas. China will also be able to patrol the oceans, respond to conflicts, and support its allies anywhere in the world. Also, nuclear power helps in times of war or crisis. If there is a conflict, ships powered by fossil fuels may run into problems. Oil may become harder to find or deliver, but a nuclear-powered ship can keep working no matter what. It does not need outside fuel. This gives it a big advantage in long wars or when fighting far from home. Besides weapons and sensors, nuclear-powered ships can also help in emergencies. They can provide power to cities or islands hit by natural disasters. For example, if there is a tsunami or earthquake and a city loses power, a nuclear-powered ship can sail close and provide electricity. This can help people survive and recover faster. China's move into nuclear naval power also helps it prepare for the future. Many military experts believe that future wars will be fought using high-tech weapons that need lots of energy. Things like laser, electric missiles, and even flying drones that never land. All these tools need power. China is now ready for that future, and by using nuclear power, it can make sure its military is always ready for whatever comes next. Let's look at some numbers. The new Type 004 aircraft carrier is expected to be around 100,000 tons in weight, similar to the US Navy's biggest ships. It will likely carry more than 70 aircraft, including fighters, early warning planes, and helicopters. The ship can generate hundreds of megawatts of power using nuclear reactors. That's more than enough to power not just the ship, but also the advanced weapons and systems on board. Also, this ship can stay at sea for more than 20 years without refueling its reactor. Compare that to oil-powered ships, which need refueling every few thousand miles. This means that over time, nuclear-powered ships are cheaper to run, even if they are more expensive to build at first. China has also been investing in training people to run these nuclear ships. Operating a nuclear-powered ship is not easy. It needs experts in nuclear science, engineering, and safety. China is building schools and programs to train thousands of people to work on these ships, and this shows that China is serious about becoming a world naval power. It is also important to understand how this affects international politics. As China's navy grows, other countries will respond. The US, Japan, India will watch China closely. Some may increase their own military power, others may form new alliances to balance China's growth. But one thing is clear, China's rise as a naval power is real and unstoppable now. In the coming years, we'll see more Chinese ships in more parts of the world. These ships will not just carry jets, they will carry power. Power to help, to protect, or to fight if needed. The seas and oceans will no longer be areas where only one or two big countries have control. China is now joining that club. As always, don't hesitate to comment down your thoughts on this situation, and while you're down there, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well.